Welcome back. We're here again to do another battle report. How you been, Internet? Good to see you. With me, as always, is Clarence, aka Ski Mask Mohawk, aka Clary. We're doing 2,000 points of Age of Darkness, is it?
Yeah, 30K.
30K. I guess we're gonna call it straight 40K. Simple 40K. I don't know.
No elder 40K.
40K is just getting senile, man. It's getting bad. So we're doing 30K, optimism, positivity, looking forward. So I've got Iron Warriors counting Death Watch, whatever, because they're stubborn, and you have?
I have Raven Guard.
Raven Guard. And you got special characters on?
Oh yeah, I have 2.
Cool. I have none, because I don't know enough about it yet. One cool thing is I did get my Countess Xiphon done for this game, so that'll be pretty cool. I guess we'll be back with our terrain discussion, because that's still relevant in 30K, and our scenario and all that shit, and our armies. So, like decent human beings with consciences, we talk about terrain before we play. So, start over here. Got some Rex on the board. We play Rex as Destructible, which also includes a Rex that might come up during the game. We just don't want people, moving onto our model, so we play as Impassable but Destructible. Any glance or pen explodes, remove it. Simple as that. Ruins. Ruins, we play them with a little bit more rules than 7th edition. Basically, you can't melt through the walls. If there's a window you can certainly shoot through, you just can't move through it. The only place you can move through a wall is the doors. You can melt through those because they open and close again. All ruins are giving you a 4+ cover save. If we go all the way over here, we've got this hill here. Now this hill's also got some 5+ cover on top. We play this cover as Destructible. Simply put, you move into it with a walker, MC, or a vehicle. If they have to take a dangerous, they would, and then you just remove it. If in the case of a vehicle, it gets immobilized, you don't remove it, you just move the vehicle to the base and then put it there. This will be a bit weird because the hill's giving you a 4+, but the low cover's giving you a 5+, so it really depends what you're getting cover from majority-wise. We got some statues here. They're just statues, no special rules. This stuff up here still counts as the destructible stuff. Over here, the boxes will be destructible, but not much to worry about there. And yeah, we only really do difficult for ruins when you're climbing, not when you're in them. And we play everything as line of sight based. There's no magic bubble terrain like 7th likes to do, so there's no area terrain like the old way. Everything is line of sight based. Yeah, so the only other rule you have to think about is we don't allow assaulting where there's coping, so someone couldn't assault up here. People can always jump down. Similarly here, you can't assault up here, you have to go where there's no low wall. As always, I get ahead of myself, so we're doing Crusade with 3 objectives. There's one right inside the building over here, one dead center over there, and a third one just back here. And now we'll talk about our armies. There we go. Cool. So you can just... Okay, so here's my 2,000 point Age of Darkness 30K list. I'm doing Iron Warriors to get me some stubborn. Up here I've got a Praetor who's got digital weapons, a Paragon Blade, I believe Melta Bombs, and I think that's it.
Iron Halo.
Iron Halo, of course. I've got 2 veteran tactical squads with plasma guns. The sergeants have the 2+ armor save there, as well as power axes. And the rhinos themselves have been upgraded with combi plasma, in addition to combi bolters. I've got a Mortis Contemptor Dreadnought with Karis Pattern Assault cannons and the, help me out? The Havoc Launcher. There we go. It's also got extra armor. I've got a normal Mortis pattern with the twin-linked autocannons, and he as well has extra armor. I've got a Javelin Speeder back there with the missiles and multi-melta. I've got, help me out, Claire.
Thud gun.
Thud gun back here. Attack bike with multi-melta, melta bombs.
Full melta.
Full melta. I've got 5-man, what are these fuckers called?
They're Iron Havocs.
Iron Havocs, and they're pretty cool. 4 last cannons and 1 heavy bolter on the sergeant. I've got a relics, or I guess not a relic, or whatever it is.
It's not a relic anymore.
A Scorpius cheese face, McFuck you.
Cheese win.
Cheese win. Then I've got a Sikaran battle tank back there with some las cannons, extra armor, or no, not extra armor, sorry, armored ceramite and dozy blades. And last but not least, I have my glorious count as Xiphon, and I've given that guy ground, I think, scouting auguries, whatever, so yeah. BS2 on ground vehicles.
BS5.
Sorry, BS5. on grass canyon. Anyway, the point is I'm new to this. So my warlord trait. Oh, I forgot one guy. This is my navigator, and he's also got the better invul save upgrade thing. And I've got a warlord trait of master of ambush. So obviously trying new things. All right, so that's the 2,000 points.
So this is my 2,000 point Raven Guard Legion list. I'm using the Decapitation Strike Rite of War, so I get to play around with drop pods. HQ is Alric's Mon, and since we play with choosing warlord traits, I chose -1 to enemy reserves. He has 9 more Dathan with combi flamers in his own dedicated drop pod, because he gets one. Got the assassin Katie's next there. 2 10-man tactical squads with artificer armor, melta bomb sergeants. 5-man dark fury assault squad with just the melta bombs on the sergeant for the only upgrade. 10 seekers in drop pod with power fist on the sergeant and artificer armor. 5 heavy support guys, and the sergeant swapped out his last cannon for the CC weapon and the Nuncio Vox, and he also has the augury scanner. And 1 contemptor dreadnought in the pod with the graviton fist and the carries assault cannon. And that's it for me. This is my Raven Guard deployment. I got to deploy first, and was only actually able to deploy the assault marines because they don't get infiltrate, and everything else is in pods. So moving on over here after the normal deployment, I infiltrated my 5-man dev squad there. I put 20 tactical or 10 tactical guys there to defend against his infiltrator. I put my special character there to help against the Praetor and the guys inside it. And moving way over here, got more tacticals in the corner for sneaky first turn potential. Anyway, and moving on to reserves. So for reserves, I have Seekers coming down turn 2, and then for the drop pod assault, I have Mon and the Mordathan and the Contemptor Dreadnought coming down turn 1.
Okay, so Iron Warriors deployment, Countess Death Watch. Starting all the way back here, I've got a Mortis Dreadnought with my autocannons. Moving along, I've got my Whirlwind Scorpius, my Contemptor Mortis with the carriers there, my Scaran Battletank with the las cannons. Back behind that, I've got the Assault Bike with multi-melta. Behind them, I have the Thud Gun thing there. Going up inside this ruin, I've got my 4 las cannon duders there. And I think that's it for deployment for infiltrate. I infiltrated the Navigator and the 5-man vet squad inside this rhino here because there's an objective underneath there. Moving over here, my leader and his 5-man vet squad infiltrated here, also on the objective. And that's pretty much it for deployment, so I'll talk about my reserves. So coming in reserve, I've got my Xiphon there, and I've also got my Javelin attack speeder who's going to be outflanking.
Alright, so this is the end of Raven Guard turn 1. Starting over here with the drop pod assaulting coming down. My Mordathan guys landed here, and the Dreadnought and the Countess has Dreadnought drop pod landed over there. He over-intercepted with the Iron Havocs. The Sergeant had the augury scanner, so he shot at my drop pod, and it exploded and killed it through my guys. They promptly did their Fatal Strike thing that gives them Twinlington Renning on the combi flamers that I used to remove his Thud Gun from the game. I didn't kill the unit for first blood. Over here, the Dreadnought drop pod lets you stay in it with the Contemptor, so it's a nice little shield. So he stayed in it and tried to land the Graviton Blast and the Assault Cannon onto the Scorpius. The Graviton Blast scattered and landed where it is now, and it leaves the field of difficult and I think dangerous terrain behind, which is interesting. Goes away next turn though. Over here, I Fury to the Legion, so the double shot at his Iron Havocs, but he had the 2+ armor save on his Sergeant, tanked, only took 1 wound from it, like from the 10 wounds I put on them. But as a consequence, they can't move when they do it. Moving down over here, my heavy support squad killed his normal Mortis Dreadnought for first blood, so that was a nice little accomplishment. And then way down over here, my assassin guy unloaded on his Rhino with the chain fire with his rending AP4 pistols and demolished it, so that would have been another first blood point. And Fip forces guys to bail out, and he passed his crew shaken test on his guys. And I took 2 or 3 pot shots over there, didn't do anything. Anyway, I wish I killed the Scorpius, but that's the end for Raven Guard turn 1, and seeing the end of Death Warriors Iron Watch turn 1.
Is the end of Iron Warriors, aka Death Watch, turn 1. Starting over here. My Sakaran moved about 10 inches this way and then fired down the lane there at Clarence's Warriors, killing 5, I believe. And moving back over here, these guys up here, they couldn't shoot because they intercepted, so they just kind of chilled. This guy down here, I believe, threw a crack grenade at the unit that was there. The Contemptor Mortis, remember that? Fired its assault cannon, carried assault cannons here. Killed, I think, 4 or 5, I don't remember.
It's like 4.
4. Over here, the assault bike moved from here, threw its grenade, fired a multi-melta, both whiffed, charged, and managed to do 2 hull points on it with the melta bomb, so that was cool. The Scorpius spun around just to show these guys the 13 armor and fired way over here, killing 4 Marines out of that tactical squad there. And this squad here, back over where I was, spun around, fired from inside a plasma gun that didn't do anything, I believe. Then I fired the combi plasma from the top of the Rhino, killing 1 guy. So that was cool. So I think that's about it for this corner. Moving on down around over here. My guys kind of just piled over there. I fired a plasma gun at this squad and it blew up, killing the guy. Collective bolter fire took down 1 of the 5 jump packers here. So they're basically chilling there. So all in all, not a terrible first turn. Still waiting on some reserves. We'll see you at the end of Raven Guard turn 2.
This is end of Raven Guard turn 2. Starting right here, my last reserve came in, and the Seekers just disembarked and tried to run to get into like a decent position. My Devastators shot at the Sakaran and didn't do anything because I rolled poorly. Over here, the Contemptor got out of his pod and shot the Haywire Graviton Blast at it. It scattered back and hit both vehicles, and both of them penned and did hull point, obviously. I mobilized the the Scorpius and shook the Rhino, and then the remnants of my Mordathan and commanders ran over and assaulted it and shook the Scorpius as well, so it can't shoot this turn. The Dreadnought failed to charge through the difficult terrain, so that's what happened there. And then moving way down over here, I shot the squad with the tactical squad behind them, put a wound with the bolters, and then charged with the assault squad, but he had 2+ armor save characters in the front, so I only got a wound through and killed the sergeant, and yeah, that's what happened there. He killed a couple of my guys. And finally I just moved these guys under the bunker at the floor, because we play with barrage can't melt through every floor, and I was scared of the Scorpius. And see you guys at the end of Death Watch Iron Warrior turn 2.
So it is the end of Iron Warriors, aka Death Watch turn 2. Rolled for my reserves, and even with the Warlord trait Clarence took, I still managed to roll 2 4s. So starting over here, my beautiful Xiphon came in from his board edge and fired at this guy here, causing a couple hull points. And he can't move or shoot, which is nice. Over here, Dreadnought fired at this unit and then charged it. I think he killed
he didn't.
one wound.
He did a wound.
Okay. I also charged with my assault bike, but I got killed in the combat. Over here, the guys that were in here, the veterans and the Navis Nobilite Navigator guy, got out and ran inside there, getting a whole inch for their run. Whoop-de-doo. Last cannons, all shot, all whiffed at this guy. Pretty awesome. He made his 2 5+ invul saves.
3.
He only made 2 of them. I wounded you twice.
You did it 1 glance and 2 pens.
Okay, man. These guys are running now, thanks to my Sakaran with all its shooting and awesomeness. Moving on down over yonder, this guy came in on the outflank and fired at the Mortat that was here, for Clarence, so he died. And then in here, I won the combat against the two remaining, what was the squad called?
Dark Fury.
Dark Fury. And then after that, I consolidated into there to get on the objective. So, all in all, not a terrible turn. I'm happy my shit's in from reserve. So we'll see you at the end of Raven Guard turn 3.
This is the end of Raven Guard turn 3. Just starting over here, these guys rallied and moved back into position. I tried to shoot this Sakaran with my last cannons. I hit every time, but failed to do anything. Pod shot at his Havocs and he passed off his armor saves. And I missed all my snap firing with my Contemptor at his objective holding squad. And in combat, we both just kind of sat around, did nothing. So, other than the crack grenade hull point gotten by my guys when they threw it before the assault, nothing really happened on this side. Moving down way over here, my 6 remaining guys, Fury of the Legion, that is veterans, and killed 2 of them, so there's only 2 people left on that objective, and that's pretty much it. So see you at the end of Iron Warrior Death Watch turn 3.
It was the end of Death Watch, aka Iron Warriors turn 3. Over here, last cannons fired and blew up what was left of Clarence's Contemptor there. The Sakaran fired at the unit that was here and killed, I think, 3. Yeah, the unit was subsequently charged by my unit, wiped them, and then they returned back to the door there, consolidating 5 inches. Moved up this Rhino a little bit just to contest the objective in case it didn't have it. So he'd actually moved away from those guys just to avoid the close combat attacks. My Xiphon moved 18 inches over here and engaged with the tactical squad. I believe I killed 2 Marines or 3. Mm-hmm. And that land speeder down there fired its missiles and multi-melted at this unit, killing 1 Marine. And I think that's pretty much. Oh yeah, there's guys over here. They fired 2 bolter shots here. I don't think they do anything because they didn't hit. And last but not least, combats was over here. Of course, that one has already happened. I charged with 1 guy, got killed. My Dreadnought attack did nothing. The attack built bombs did nothing. So we're still locked in there. That's pretty much it. So we'll see you at the end of Raven Guard turn 4.
This is the very quick end of Raven Guard turn 4. Starting over here, I moved my support squad down from their perch and snapshot at the tank. Didn't do anything. I charged it and threw crack grenade again at the tank and still didn't do anything. And I moved my tactical squad up a little bit. And continuing the Contemptor combat theme, nothing happened because the melted bomb that hit and built like a 4. Anyway, so see you guys at the bottom of Iron Warrior turn 4.
It's the end of Iron Warriors turn 4. Starting over here, I fired everything I could into the 4 remaining tactical Marines there from the Sakaran, killing them. So I didn't really need to shoot with the speeder. My guys up here fired 4 last cannons into the pod here, exploding it. Also taking out one of my guys, I think. Yeah, my guys was over here. Plasma hitter. Also, my plasma had hopped out. Just 1 guy from the door fired here, killing 1 of the 4 Marines there. In combat over here, I managed to kill a single Marine, so I won that, but they stayed in combat. Moving down, my Xiphon liquidated what was left, the 4 tac squads there, tactical Marines. So I'm pretty firmly holding that objective. It's pretty much just a mop-up now. So we'll see you at the end of Raven Guard turn 5.
So bottom of Raven Guard turn 5, and trying to post some shenanigans, completely backfired. Over here I moved up and went to assault his tank with my fleet of foot squad. Rolled double 1s followed by the reroll of a 1 and a 2, so that was pretty good. Over here I failed my 2+ armor save on my captain to tank the wound. I penned with melted bomb, but he passed the 6+ invul save on the Contemptor Mortis. Yeah, and got Warlord, so that was extra double fun. That's really it for my turn, and see you guys on the end of Iron Warrior turn 4. 5, whatever.
So it's the end of Iron Warriors, aka Death Watch turn 5. Everything fired here. I killed 4 out of the 5.
They're all dead.
They're all
Just
dead.
didn't take them off.
So Clarence could have used his trait thing to go for another turn.
It's the Iron Warrior one.
Or the Iron Warrior. Active on it? Or?
It's like a negative.
Oh, you could do it on. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you could, because I'm Iron Warriors, you could have pushed it for another turn. But really, he can't achieve much, so we're just going to call it there at 5.
Yeah.
He's still got the one guy here who's a sergeant, I think, and he's got the one dude over here with melta bombs. So, fairly resounding victory.
Mm-hmm.
It was cool. We'll see in the post game. Or no, what was the score? I guess it was 3-6. You had first blood, so that's 1. You have line break. No, you have line breaker, so that's 2.
And you have Warlord
I have
and
Warlord
Line Breaker.
and line breaker, so that's 8-2.
Yeah.
Not bad. See the post game show. Back to the post game show. Clarence, 30K. What are your thoughts?
I like it. Obviously, we're playing it.
Okay.
It's the only like thing is it's harder to like adjust your army. It's like, oh
Yeah,
well,
there's a learning curve.
it's like, oh, it's not even that. It's like, okay, well, what do I need more of like after like this game? It's like, oh,
Yeah.
I need more like anti-tank. It's like, okay, well, how can I do that? It's like, well, I can get like this or convert up that or like kit bash like that because
It's strange how 15 or 2000 feels like 1500.
yeah, it's fun.
Stuff is a bit pricier. That actually went pretty fast
Yeah.
compared to 40K.
After like the first 2 turns.
Oh yeah,
Hmm.
big kills early on. Assuming the same context, same everything, would you change anything in your list?
Yeah, I'd probably after I paint up my own Sakaran,
Yes. Yeah.
probably pull the 5-man assault marine guys for the Sakarans.
Yeah. It's the 2+ that complicates things for them.
Yeah, and like
Still really good.
the really bad rolling, like also.
Yeah, that didn't help.
No.
My really good rolling. didn't
Yeah, it's like, oh
help
fuck.
either.
Yeah, like obviously it depends on like the board a lot with the launch site, like where you deploy.
You've got that one unit that can fuck up almost anything when it
Yeah,
comes to
it's always
right?
fun.
Random flavors?
I'd probably only make them 5-man strong.
Yeah.
And have like a secondary 5-man guy outflank squad with them because always starts on the flanks too. It's like, oh shit, yeah, they're there. Like, come
Yeah.
over here.
Makes sense.
Because yeah, like it is pretty like eggs in baskety. You have
Yeah.
to use your warlord to do that, or
I like that we did it the normal way, so like randomizing after we put down our objectives, because neither of us really started on an objective. We both had to
Yeah.
kind of get to them, so that was nice. I'm happy you didn't take the bait and you came down here and you came down hard, because if you split up just for them, it would have fucked you. You played well. I think it's just sort of a lot comes down to those first 2 turns and how
Yeah.
they go. It's
yeah,
so
there's
important.
some unfortunate like luck things that just like over the course of the game just like get piled on to each other.
Plus, I got my reserves in, and you had taken a trade specifically to fuck me up.
Yeah.
And I still rolled 2 4s.
Yeah, that too. Like
that was rough.
yeah, it was unfortunate. Like
Yeah.
preferably I would have killed the Scorpius turn 1,
Yeah.
which like took a chunk out of that squad and.
It's good you got the Scorpius fairly early on, though. At least got him out of commission and took him down for good.
The Scorpius, I really like didn't do much with my Seekers. That was like actual just like bad misplaying completely, which you know could have killed those guys off and then you would.
I think you have a rougher time for shooting than I do.
Oh.
I have more MSU for that, so you kind of.
You have more vehicles and like.
Yes, yeah.
That's the thing.
I quite like the speeder. The outflanking is nice.
It was good. I like the speeder too.
Yeah. Twin linking is not bad.
Yeah, the twin link cyclones.
Yeah. Plus, it's not like for 3 strength 8 shots. It's not that expensive. It's like 85, 95
Yeah,
points.
that's pretty cheap. You can get 200 killers
Yeah.
too. I would make some 100 killers just for that as well. Come in.
Yeah, if they're gonna be 5 points, I can see that.
Yeah, 10 points for 200
Plus,
shots.
I mean, you can fire everything move 6.
Yeah, you come in from reserve and you just like shoot into rear side armor with 4.
It's
rockets.
nice too that you can see your main shooting first and then see if you have to throw down.
Yeah.
If everything whiffs,
Yeah,
it's
you
like
can be
fuck
like,
it.
oh, multi-melt it, like,
Yeah.
Cyclone. It's like, okay, like, let's add in the rest. Like,
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
the Contemptor Mortis is, like, as we know, pretty not fun to play against. Like, just, like, the amount of shots it spits
It's
out.
the BS5 with like 12 shots. Like it's gross enough on the Zakaran with 6 shots with twin linked, and then with that thing it doesn't really even need to be twin linked.
No.
It's just I didn't need that many rounds.
Again, it's like not the best for like AA, but it's very good for just securing your like deployment zone.
Yeah, he's almost like the warden of the deployment zone.
Mm-hmm.
He just keeps it all locked down. And
how did you like the Havocs?
the Havocs were cool. I was a bit bummed about losing the sergeant so early on, but that was, what was it, like 14 saves or something?
Yeah. yeah, you failed the only one, right? Like,
I love the -1 to cover. It didn't come in huge here, but I guess it made you take your info instead of your cover.
the tank hunter helped a lot too a couple times. You rolled really high with them to start with, so
I was also really happy with the Siphon.
yes.
I feel a little, it's not sleazy is the right word, but I know you don't have much AA, so it's kind of,
Again, it's like I'll paint up my Sakaran for the next game. Like,
Yeah.
I just got it yesterday. It'll be painted.
even still though, the Sakaran isn't, I mean it's good AA, it's just not, you're not hitting me on anything with 6 is the problem, but hell, I mean you can still fuck me with the last cannon on 6 too.
Last cannons are always good.
I really enjoyed it. I think 30k is where things are going, because you always talk about 40k. The new Eldar book came out. Clarence, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I don't know why scatter lasers need to be 10 points.
Or that you can take all 10 of them in a unit?
If there were 20 points, then that would definitely like make you like think more about it. And it would be more than the bike itself, which, things like a plasma pistol are 15 points. Yeah. And I don't know why the Wraith Knight is less than 300 for a gargantuan creature.
It's weird. We're all happy it's a gargantuan creature. You put it off on Lord of War, and then it's sort of like, oh good, so only the weirdos will play with that. Well, I mean the people who enjoy forging narratives, who we don't judge. Anyway, no, the problem is the D everywhere as well. It's like D for this.
You don't like taking the D, Ben?
It literally feels like Jervis has a problem with Reese Robbins or something. Like the ITC is like, yeah, we're gonna ban D weapons next year.
Range D weapons?
Range D weapons next year. And Jervis probably just like lost his shit in the middle of Nottingham. He's like, not with my game, and then made sure to fuck
Ben, I thought like playing how you want was like the sandbox edition 40k. That was the thing of 7th. You can play however you want.
It doesn't mesh with like the British passive aggression, man.
Until they release the Eldar, it's like, well, this is guys what you doing now? Like, I don't think so. Like,
I'm just happy I don't play Yandon, because it would just be like, hey, you in the corner, money.
Well, it's like, first of all, you like lost your supplement.
You lost your whole army.
Second of all, you lost your friends because no one wants to play against perma D weapons. Like,
I don't know. I'm not gonna say no one. There's always a masochist in the crowd, right? Some people like getting spanked. Yes, sir. May I have another? My thing is just, why? Why did you have to do this? Like, you fix the wave serp and then fuck up some other things just to be.
Man, the sad thing is they like fixed the aspect warriors too. Like they buffed up the aspect warriors because no one was really using them because no one needed to. Like,
it's the old problem though of in bad internal balance. Even if some other things get better, if there's still better stuff.
Yeah, and then they like buff the jet bikes beyond comprehension.
And the fact that they're troops too, like
you don't need to take. It's like why take banshees? Like they're fine again now.
They're okay, but
I said fine, okay. Like they can assault through cover finally, which is like a big thing.
It's nice that they fixed that, but again,
why do you need to assault when you can shoot like 40 strength 6 shots a turn out of one unit? Like
that's the thing too. They don't understand how it used to be the dichotomy of like you'd have your unit and then like 1 to 3 things to get a special or heavy. Yeah, that was kind of how it went for most armies.
Yeah.
And then that all went to shit, especially with Tau, where it was just like, hey, everybody, we're drunk. So now all these units, there's like these mono units that are often like the 30k with like everyone having a fucking weapon.
But you pay for that shit.
Yeah, like if you're doing all plasma, okay, we're talking 15 points a piece, plus it can hurt you if you're shooting more.
Yeah.
There's some things in there.
Like, for example, like the 30k Outriders, you get twin link plasma guns, they're 25 points each though.
And I mean, it's like chaos. You can, I guess, take.
They're not 10 points each.
What's it? The Chosen.
Yeah.
So, but the problem is like all those are fairly expensive, and they're not nearly as mobile as say a jet bike, an Elder jet bike.
The Elder jet bike, the ones that can bounce back again afterwards.
I don't know what they're thinking. Like 36, and you move another 12. So unless you're rocking las cannons, and even then they just get out of LOS, and what do you do? The thing too is we're decent people. We play with rooftops because if you spam too much barrage, it gets a bit silly.
Yeah, Thunder.
So they could easily you could usually hide like 6 or 7 of them underneath this floor. Nothing I can do. So I mean, Eric, our friend Eric, who plays Eldar Kane, who's been on the show or whatever, he's like distraught over it.
Mm-hmm.
Already, like no one.
He doesn't
really
even use
wants to-
Wraith Knights or like anything like that. Like,
It's already the problem of like not everyone, but a lot of people have an issue with Eldar being so strong, and he only runs like 2 or 3 Mega Serpents anyway.
yeah, he doesn't go to tournaments anymore because he doesn't feel good about going.
It's unfortunate, man. It's just the way the game's going. But hey, 30K, it's something. Anyway, we're still playing 40K. We'll never stop. We might move back to prior editions if like 8th drops and GW is basically just out there yelling.
It's been almost a year now. Like, when is 8th coming out?
That's very true. I mean, some books are 6 months old. They should really get replaced.
Tyranids. Orcs. Fix orcs.
Why do you hate orcs?
They'll nerf
what
orcs
do orcs
again.
do to you?
They'll nerf orcs again.
Oh, God. Yeah, the Morkanaut will become just like a normal walker. Like 100 points.
No, it'll become a Lord of War. Compete with Gazi for his slot. They'll stop making the Gazi model. Dark Eldar.
There's no plan. There's no plan. You get orcs come out. There's a stomp in the book. Fuck, I don't know, for some reason. And then Dark Eldar comes out. There's just like no Lord of War.
No. It was Space Wolves next.
Oh, sorry, Space Wolves. Yeah,
Grey Knights.
With the unit, the army that's afraid of teleporting, but apparently loves flying.
Yeah.
Because dedicated. I don't hate the shoe. It's a nice model actually. It's just dedicated is
The shoe.
it's Necron's still dedicated flyers. Fucking retarded. Don't get started on the Cadicarian. But no, it works. Like here's a Stampa. Not much else.
Did you like
D
Gazi?
comes out and there's no Lord of War. We're all expecting Vex.
There's no Vect.
So it's just like
no Vect.
not only are we taking away actual characters, we're just like not putting in new ones.
Yeah,
Because
that guy's
makes
been
it
in the
all
book
play.
for like 20 years. Like,
For whatever reason, they put out a codex for assassins, which again is not a new thing. We know there used to be a codex, but they don't put out models. And now, 7 months later, they come out with models for them in its own separate game. Pretty sweet. Anyway, there's no plan. It's so evident there is no plan. They're just pulling shit out of their ass month after month, week after week.
new AdMech book, the second.
I'm actually hoping those rumors are true because actually having a real Adeptus Mechanicus faction.
No, it's a Codex event. You're not going to get an HQ slot.
Oh, right.
anytime
No, that's the
soon.
new thing. Yeah. Just take 15 different codexes and that don't have HQs. Anyway, I'm hoping the actual AdMech has an actual codex.
The Codex you're looking for is Codex Tech Priest, where the only slot is the HQ slot. And you can buy the clamshell model.
I don't like this game at all. Anyway, so as always, we're optimistic and in no way pessimistic people. But 40K really has a problem. Like, it's getting stupid. A lot of people are just down for Apocalypse anyway, so they don't care. I understand that. They're into fun, regardless of it being subjective. But at least I never liked Apocalypse. Did you like Apocalypse?
I enjoyed it when you could control how many people were playing in it.
Yeah.
And it became like a 10-person like birthday show. Like, nothing really.
I'll put it a different way. Did you like Apocalypse every weekend?
No.
So 40K was the more often than
It's
the
fun.
Apocalypse? Okay.
I don't mind playing against like big things. It's like, hey, like, do you want to play against my Warhammer Titans? Like, sure, I can plan for that. Take stuff.
It's just that the pre-planning that came with Apocalypse now applies to every game.
Yeah.
Every game is politics. Anytime you meet a new player, you're deathly afraid to tell them your preferences because they'll be turned into bigotry. It's like, what do you mean you don't like that? I'm just not a fan of it. You can tell them nicely or you can tell them harshly with an attitude. It doesn't really make a difference. So I don't know, man. Maybe one day we'll get a real game out of this. But 30K is the future. You'll be seeing more of it because it's the only sane thing left. Forge World actually knows how to write some rules occasionally.
Occasionally, yeah. When it's not weirdly ambiguous with
But you can tell, when you read the Xiphon rules for deep striking as Xiphon, they're trying to make it as clear as possible how mishap works for it. Because people will be like, oh, it's on this, wobbly model syndrome. Forge World's right there to say, go fuck yourself, you can't do that. So
my favorite was
their
their Dreadnought that literally lets it melt through the walls.
Yes, the Gal 4-back one.
Yeah, it's
but they explain it and they give you all the,
it's a very clear and concise thing. It's it has to finish its move on the other side. You can't sit in the middle of the wall.
Oh god, I hate that one. My rhino's actually here and here and here and here. No, it isn't.
The ever popular Photoshop
Wraith Knight. Even more popular, Wraith Knight on trees and statuaries.
Oh god. But that's for a whole other day. So we'll be back again with another battle report. I think we're gonna do a 4-player battle report for 40k. Do what we can to make it not suck. We'll just, I don't know, take a lot of
That's a
CMA or
significant lack
something.
of Tau.
Significant lack of Tau. That's one good. That's the silver lining for the weekend. No Tau.
Hopefully.
So
Hopefully
no Tau.
It's like a forecast, like
Forecast.
Imperium with a hint of chaos.
Yeah, a
like,
little bit of chaos, but if there is some Tau, that won't be very fun. So
ruin someone's weekend.
yeah. Oh, if Jason shows up with Tau, I'm just not gonna play. I'll just do that. I'll just be like, you know what? I'm taking a break.
Don't be like that to your new roommate.
No, I can play 2 other people. Anyway, thank you for watching Cover Slaves, and we'll see you again some other time in the future. That was good.
I went into a rant of what we hate about 40k.
Of course, we always have to end on shitting on 40k.